is Sawyer. I am a tour guide by day, Cape Crusader by night, but don't tell anybody.
My name is Nancy Wheeler. I live in Franklin, Mass. And I'll try to do this without being weepy.
I've been working at Accountability Lab Nepal as a multimedia producer and consultant since January 30th. I made the decision to come home before I knew that the international airport in Kathmandu was going to be shut down.
I've been helping out with the Cambridge Neighborhood Aid Network for the last few days, though it feels like a lot longer. So we're organizing to try to provide help to try to connect neighbors to each other so that they can help one another during this crisis and long term.
I work part-time for 2 different museums, one that's affiliated with a local college and one that's a more popular tourist site in Boston. And my husband works in the food service industry, so we've both been hit pretty hard. We're almost as afraid of not being able to pay our rent and expenses than we are of actually getting sick ourselves. I mean, we're more afraid of getting sick, but because there's nothing really in place to deal with that. But it's like the fears are almost equal, economic and illness.
Well, I'm 73 years old, and my husband is 74, so we're nervous. We're scared. I have 4 children, 11 grandchildren, and they all live in Franklin, and I can't see any of them. So that's difficult. And I get weepy when I talk. I'm sorry. It's just something I've never experienced before. It's frightening. It's isolated us from our family. They've been doing our errands for us, but they only pull in the driveway and leave our groceries outside. I would love to be able to hug them and hold them and all that, but we can't because we're afraid we're going to get something.
If someone is older and really needs to pick up their medications, but is at very high risk and cannot and would rather not go to the pharmacy, for example, we can arrange a pharmacy pickup. We can deliver food, household essentials, even connect people who are feeling lonely and isolated because they're living alone to have a conversation with each other.
So Friday, I went to the airport, got on standby, was able to get a ticket home, and then Sunday the airport was shut down in Kathmandu. The fact that I was able to fly into New York, into JFK, and no one asked me to self-quarantine, no one tested me, and then when I got into Logan, same deal. No one mentioned Corona, no one asked me to self-quarantine. It's really interesting, really interesting.
I am a little concerned because I have asthma. Suddenly a health condition that I normally don't think about very much except as a minor inconvenience, like I can't pet my friends' dogs as much as I would like to, has become something that puts me at potentially a higher risk of severe illness or death. It definitely changes how you move in the world to know about those risks, and I think a lot of folks with different kinds of more severe ailments, disabilities, chronic health issues are in the same boat.
The museum that I work at stayed open much longer than many similar sites in town, and we had been thinking that we hadn't felt safe going to work, but kind of at the point where we couldn't afford not to, and we were really shocked at the treatment we got in that respect, and that they stayed open for so long, risking our health and safety and that of our patrons.
And then we finally closed, and then it was honestly a bit of a punch to the face, because they told us that they weren't going to be paying us, which was honestly really a surprise. A lot of other museums in town are paying their people. Sorry, I'm gonna. A lot of other museums in town are paying people. There's museums all across the country that are still paying their people, and so it's just really frustrating.
My livelihood comes from being outside, being with people, especially in close proximity with people. When all of this started happening, my day job became unsafe. And so we shut down, and I've been sort of dealing with the aftermath of that. I mean, we are not being paid.
I mean, some of this crisis has both renewed my faith in humanity in some ways and also left me massively disappointed in humanity in other ways.
I don't understand in this country why we are short of masks and respirators and the things that we desperately need for these caregivers. My heart breaks for them.
Even if you are not at high risk of serious illness or death, a lot of people are. And the best thing we can do, even if you're not in a place to help provide mutual aid to people, is just stay home.
I hope God blesses everybody and this is over very soon.